kinga ya mwili ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
It is Friday, the second last day of September 2023. Welcome to Primetime News right here on Kutv. We have a lot lined up for you tonight, including this. UDA party holds first national governing council ahead of party elections. Kenya ranks 57th globally in terms of corruption, says Felix Kutv. Petitioners move to court to seek the halting of ongoing national dialogue. And Young Arbitrators Conference seeks to integrate law students in alternative dispute resolution. Evans Odhiambo is our sign language interpreter. My name is Joseph Kess. Remember, we are also live on YouTube at Kutv Kenya, and you can share with us your feedback on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Kess Joseph Kenya. Now, UDA's first National Governing Council meeting has been marked with various amendments to the party's constitution ahead of December grassroots elections. Delegates trooped to the Bomas of Kenya to attend the event headed by President William Ruto and the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Ruto's move appears to consolidate support base, clear election-related wrangles, and pave way for the intended merge of UDA affiliate parties. Ruto has maintained that UDA elections will be fair without favor or backing of individuals.
Now, Your Excellency, unajua wananikashifu nikiongea mambo ya shares. Mimi sina maneno. Mimi nasema Kenya ni yetu sisi zote. Ya kila Mkenya. Na kila Mkenya apate maendeleo kwa sababu analipa kodi. Na rais ni baba wa Mkenya wote, afanyie wa Kenya wote kazi. Lakini in the leadership of President William Ruto, there is some shareholding.
And corruption within the public service sector remains a threat to service delivery and performance in most of the government departments. In pursuit of resolving the menace, the head of public service, Felix Kutv, has held a consultative meeting with senior police officers to root for zero tolerance to corruption in the sector. While expressing satisfaction on President Ruto's war on graft, Kutv lifted the lid on the profound effects of corruption in the police service, including inaction and impartiality.
The head of public service, Felix Kutv, has opened yet another war on police corruption, character, self-discipline, integrity and the rule of law, forming grounds for the fresh haggles of zero tolerance to corruption in the police service.
Let them be people who are ready to come, not people who will fear the police, because they are not sure whether the criminal will be arraigned and jailed or not. That is why people keep off. And majorly, it is because of corruption.
Kosgei has issued a stern warning to the perpetrators of corruption, expressing fears on the effects the act has imposed on the image of the National Police Service across the globe.
How is he going to dispense justice? He'll be busy trying to recoup what he paid when he joined forces, the service. Simply put. So it becomes a very complicated thing. It has to have a stop, and we need to stop it.
His consultative meeting with the senior police officers also sought to root for solutions to security problems in the country. Kosgei opened up on rampant corruption besieging police recruitment process, calling for equal opportunity to every individual in the country to join the service devoid of corruption.
I was always doubting that it is not true. But I realized that if somebody sells a shamba, truly the child will be recruited. If you don't sell, if you go and run around, they become number one, but they will never if they don't have money.
The head of public service acknowledged the alarming corruption index in Kenya, ranking at 57th most corrupt country globally. Among primary causes of police corruption, according to Kosgei, is financial strength, which he says draws from the act of exceeding earning in lifestyle.
A public officer shall live within their means and avoid incurring any financial liability that he cannot satisfy. No wonder we are getting a lot of mental challenges. We are getting a lot of people sliding to corruption because of the stress of the resources.
The role of police service has, however, been recognized at the event, as well as President William Ruto's determination to purge corruption from this crucial unit. Joseph Ayomo, KUTV.
At the same time, the fate of the ongoing bipartisan talks could now be in limbo. This is after 3 petitioners moved to court to challenge its constitutionality. The petitioners argue that the process is mainly dominated by selfish agenda from political class, and there was no public participation in the establishment of the committee members, and the process did not take into account the interest of the common citizen, like the cost of living.
In what seems to be progress after at least 2 false starts, the National Bipartisan Dialogue Committee could yet again have to overcome another hurdle as they race against time to beat the set deadline to find an antidote to perennial problems ailing the country after every electioneering period. But the road ahead lies many obstacles. The 3 petitioners, Isaac Elanyi, Patrick Arani Ikarapa, and Paul Ngweyo, through their lawyer Peter Wanyama, now wants the bipartisan process stopped, arguing that there were no public participation in the establishment of the committee, and if not stopped, the taxpayer could lose up to 100 million shillings. The petitioners also argue that the dialogue process is majorly dominated by politicians with selfish interest who want to push for constitutional reforms to satisfy their political interest. The petitioners accuse the National Committee co-chairs Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and Kalonzo Musyoka of exercising authority not delegated in the Constitution. The petitioners want the court to stop the operation of the committee and issue structural interdict order that require Parliament to enact legislation to guide consideration of constitutional questions that are before the National Dialogue Committee. The petition comes against the backdrop of the ongoing public views submission from various stakeholders before the National Dialogue Committee. The latest to appear before Kimani Ichung'wah and Kalonzo Musyoka-led committee is former Attorney General Githu Muigai, who wants the number of constituencies to be reduced.
To abolish the seat of the woman representative completely, and then to create 2 seats in every constituency, 1 for a woman and 1 for a man. In fact, we end up with 50% being women. We improve. We do better than the 30% that we already have. And that one is neat. It is achievable without much mathematics, arithmetics, and it is straightforward.
The 3 wants the court to certify the matter as urgent and the matter be referred to Chief Justice Martha Koome to form a 3-judge bench to hear and determine the matter. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
And the government has postponed the official launch of the Maisha number and the digital ID ecosystem. In a statement on Twitter by the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services, Professor Julius Bitok, a new date of the launch will be communicated in due course. The launch was to be conducted in Nakuru, presided over by President William Ruto on the 2nd of October 2023. The public participation and stakeholders engagement forums on Maisha number and digital ID card will, however, continue across the country. And children living with disabilities in Gatundu North constituency, Kiambu County, have a reason to smile after the national government built them modern classroom blocks to improve their learning environment. And in other news, Mount Kenya residents have urged leaders in the region to unite and work together to foster developments.
Pupils living with disabilities at Ndiko Primary School in Gatundu North constituency, Kiambu County, are a happy lot after the National Fund for the Disabled of Kenya under the national government built them modern classrooms. The classrooms that cost 3 million shillings are expected to increase enrollment of students with special needs due to the improvement of the learning facilities. While noting that the government has programs to help children with disabilities to access education, NFDK Chair Professor Julia Ojiambo called on parents with such children not to hide them in their homes but take them to school.
Committed to ensuring that the lives of people with disabilities in this country is taken care of. We are very happy that we have come here today and with our staff now to celebrate together what you have done. I want to appreciate the community.
Meanwhile, Mount Kenya residents have called on area leaders to end wrangles and work together to foster development. Led by Samuel Thairu, they urge the leaders to end political rivalry as this will hinder the region's development.
Tulichagua viongozi kwa maana hatuwezi tukatoshea bunge sisi wote ili waende watuongelele huko na watutetee, lakini wajumbe wetu wakati tunaona wabunge wengine wakiwa kwa bunge wakiongelea mambo ya maendeleo, wakiongelea mambo ya kubadilisha sheria, wao tunaona tu kwa barabara. Ni himizo yangu kubwa na ninaweza kuuliza Madamu wa Maua na Betty, fanyeni kazi yenu.
Elsewhere, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaro has banned huge expenditure on training and meetings for projects so as to ensure money creates an impact on the targeted people, adding that it consumed a huge sum of money.
Sisi kama jamii tumefundishwa mambo mingi toka uhuru wa nchi. Kwa hivyo masuala ya pesa zetu nyingi kutumia kwa mafunzo tena tumekataa. Tunataka pesa ziende kwa mama, kwa kijana, wafanye maendeleo yale mtazamo. Hata kaunti ina mtindo pia. Wameambiwa mama wafuge kuku. Nasikia mikutano imetumia milioni 30. Nani anataka kufundishwa kufuga kuku hapo?
The new facilities aim to improve enrollment and also provide a conducive learning environment for the learners. Julie Ongaki, KUTV.
All right, we are taking a short break here on Primetime News. We'll still have plenty more ahead, including some updates on business. We'll be back shortly. Still.
Niko huku Uswahilini, yani katika jamii pana ya Mijikenda. Leo nitakuwa nimetangamana na wazee wa Gonda. Tutakuwa tunatangamana moja kwa moja wakifanya densi zao ambazo ni za kukata na shoka.
You know, Nambi, I'm just saying, if you're having some doubts because the wedding is getting closer, that's okay. But you have to believe someone when they show you who they really are. Do you understand me? Be strong. Everything will be okay.
Here is to the happy couple. May the bride price make the bondage of marriage worth it. A toast to your first wife, young man, and I'm sure she won't be the last.
One of the factors that we considered when doing a free range is that we need to look at the size of the land. The size of the land that the school has is very little. So that's the reason why we chose on free range. So you can see that the birds are able to move freely within the ranges. Another reason why we chose this is because when you look at it, it is cheaper. When you look at the materials they are using, they are locally available. So that's the main reason why we choose. At the same time, it requires little space.
Right, welcome back to the broadcast. Now, small-scale farmers affiliated to Kenya Tea Development Authority, KTDA, will from Monday start receiving a second payment of 44.15 billion shillings for the financial year. All right.
About 600,000 farmers affiliated to KTDA agency are expected to receive 44.15 billion shillings bonus in the next 2 weeks beginning from 2nd October. This bonus increased from 37.11 billion shillings recorded in 2021-2022 financial year, accounting for a 19% growth. This bonus payout is expected to lift farmers' total earnings for the year by 7.6% as it will be paid alongside payments for green leaf supplied this month. This comes after the government introduced far-reaching reforms in the subsector. In a bid to cut reliance on imports for synthetic fabrics, the government, through the Ministry of Trade and Investments, is seeking to contract private firms to manufacture synthetic fabrics locally, hence inviting manufacturers to express interest in the subsector following shortage of textile mills. Elsewhere, the government has pumped in 1 billion shillings and 570 metric tons of seedlings that will be distributed to farmers in 24 enmarked counties that are set to benefit from a sunflower promotion project that aims to boost local production of sunflower oil and address the cost of edible oils in the country. The project aims to increase the production acreage of sunflower from the current 4,000 acres to 200,000 acres, a project that aims to lower the high import bill of edible oils, which currently stands at 160 billion shillings annually. Charles Kirubi, KUTV.
And in order to foster and strengthen the integration of law students into the realm of alternative dispute resolution, the Young Arbitrators Society today hosted an arbitrators conference at the Kenyatta School of Law Parkland campus. The conference, themed Exploring New Frontiers, Integrating Students into Alternative Dispute Resolution, was designed to encourage and facilitate the participation of law students in alternative dispute resolution mechanisms.
In efforts to encourage and enhance integration of law students in alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, the Young Arbitrators Society today hosted an arbitrators conference centered on the theme Exploring New Frontiers. As Jacqueline Waihenya, the chairperson of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, explains, currently alternative dispute resolution mechanisms have been well entrenched in that in many cases one cannot do without it.
ADR decisions are final. For mediation, what happens is that according to Section 59, you adopt it in court, it becomes a judgment of the court. You cannot appeal from the mediation. settlement agreement once it's adopted by the court.
Additionally, Jacqueline notes that the use of ADR is enhanced by recent technological advancements, making it even more convenient, enabling faster dispute resolution with convenience to most parties.
Many arbitrations are being held online and with only the necessary aspects being taken to be in person, like site meetings or very necessary hearings. Other than that, to put together the paperwork for ADR especially, we are also using artificial intelligence. Of course, this is still controversial.
The conference, which brought together law students from various learning institutions, sought to promote a deeper understanding of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and their integration into the legal field. It aimed to facilitate knowledge sharing, networking, and discussion among students.
ADR is one of the main mechanisms or tools for increasing access to justice as envisaged in Article 48 of the Kenyan Constitution. This takes cognizance of the fact that maybe not all people will be able to access the courts of justice because of non-legal barriers.
Yvonne Kimuma, KUTV.
Right, we are taking another short break here on Primetime News. We still have sports updates ahead. After this break, stay with us.
One of the factors that we considered when doing a free range is that we need to look at the size of the land. The size of the land that the school has is very little. So that's the reason why we chose on free range. So you can see that the birds are able to move freely within the ranges. Another reason why we chose this is because when you look at it, it is cheaper. When you look at the materials they are using, they are locally available. So that's the main reason why we choose. At the same time, it requires little space.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Niko Rabai, niko huku Uswahilini, yani katika jamii pana ya Mijikenda. Leo nitakuwa nimetangamana na wazee wa Gonda. Tutakuwa tunatangamana moja kwa moja wakifanya densi zao ambazo ni za kukata na shoka. Unapogonga nasikia sasa hiyo unaleta morali kabisa sasa.
This year we have 3 theme areas: food security, nuclear energy, and then climate change.
And it unites those who believe in the harmony of human prosperity, vibrant ecosystems, pristine oceans, and stable climate.
Nuclear energy has the potential to address the pressing issue of energy poverty in Africa, where up to 600 million people have no access to reliable electricity.
welcome back. Let us take a look at sports updates. It is system all set ahead of Safaricom Chapa Dimba Nyanza regional finals as 8 teams line up for the regional championship scheduled for this weekend at Moi Stadium in Kisumu. The 2-day sporting extravaganza will see 8 teams, 4 boys teams and 4 girls teams from the 6 counties of the Nyanza region, that is Kisumu, Siaya, Migori, Homa Bay, Kisii and Nyamira, that qualified from the regional inter-county playoffs held last weekend, battle it out for the regional title and a slot at the national championships. Winners to walk away with 250,000 Kenyan shillings.
Mimi kama striker wa Plateau Queens tumejipanga vizuri kwenda kucheza hii finali. Na kando na pia kucheza finali pale Kisumu, si ati tumalizie tu hapo hivyo. These ni regionals levels tu. Lazima tunataka tubebe hii cup ya regionals, tuleta hapa shule. Na pia twende nationals na tujaribu pia tunataka tubebe hizo vikombe. Na tunaua uwezo. Okay, kama sasa mimi Chapa Dimba imeweza kunisaidia sana. Tangu nianze kucheza games, hizi tournament, hata sijawahi pewa any golden boot ama kuwa top scorer. But sasa hii Chapa Dimba imeweza kunisaidia, nimeweza kuonekana. At least saizi nimeweza kujulikana hii Kenya, mimi ni striker wa Nyakachi.
And Japan climbed to second place in Group A after thrashing Samoa 28-22 at the Toulouse Stadium in France. Michael Letich, Himeno Namasuda all scored for Japan to hand them 3 valuable points. The Rugby World Cup group stage action continues tonight when New Zealand lock horns with Italy in Group A at the Groupama Arena in the city of Lyon from 10 p.m. Kenyan time. All right, that brings us to the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Our sign language interpreter has been Evan Sudhiambo. My name is Joseph Kez, standing in for Motegi K. Martin, who will be here next Friday at a time like this. Until we meet again next time, enjoy the rest of your night and also your weekend. Goodbye.